Today is a good day because we have a new sports anime that came out in the fall 2016 anime season lineup, and that is All Out. Now, I did do a reaction video towards the promotional video that came out a month ago, and how I'm going to review this series. This series comes out every Thursday, and just so that people who are not well assured of how much episodes this series will have, it will have 25 episodes. So the fact that it started in the fall season, it means it's going to end before the spring season of 2017. This is the first type of sports anime that we have in regards to rugby, and if there is another rugby anime that I am not aware of, I would love to hear you guys mention that in the comment section below. But as of right now, currently, there is no rugby anime, so this is the very first of its kind. Now, All Out is being produced by the studios of Madhouse and TMS Entertainment. So I know a lot of people are like, this is Madhouse and everything, but they're working along with TMS Entertainment. So if this first season itself does really well, there is a possibility that a second season can, be put into works and be greenlit and then premiere at a later date. So I decided to check out this series because I was hyped up for it since, it was first introduced. And I say, this is like the cousin or the equivalent to American football, but a lot more rougher. Now, I'm not too knowledgeable about rugby as a whole. It's just that I know that it's like most people would compare it to American football, but to a lesser extent. But the fact that also, this is a sports anime and it's the typical high school setting. Most of sports anime is in a high school setting, so that's one of the cliches. And it starts off with our main character, Gion Kenji, who, if you watch a lot of sports animes and they deal with it in the high school settings, you see this trope going around where the first year main character is usually the shortest character on his team. That's why I started seeing that's happening ongoing as any new sports anime comes out, that the first year main character is always the shortest, and usually the derogative is taller than him, and they eventually have to work together. Of course, there is a main core group that is the main characters. Of course, I mentioned Gion. Then we have Iwashimizu Sumiyaki. If that's too much of a mouthful, you could call him Sumi, you could call him Aki, whatever you want to call him. Looked like the big guy who you would have thought was the main character due to his stylish hairstyle. Sekizan, looking like someone coming out of Yu-Gi-Oh with that type of hairstyle. And then we have Hachioji. So those were the 4 characters that were introduced in this first episode. So you can expect that it's going to be focusing on them, as well as, the several secondary characters that will be later introduced into this series. So my first impression based on this episode, I fell in love with it. It started off, typical school year starts, teams are formulating, people are joining teams, and then we have Gion, who is our short, temperamental protagonist. Like, you call him short, and he's going to try to rampage on you. Like, no kidding. He'll either try to beat you up or attempt to beat you up. And he doesn't know anything about rugby. It's not until Hachioji came upon them and told them if you would like to join the rugby team. Of course, he encounters as well before that Sumiyaki, who is a tall guy, a very tall guy, but he is very gentle. He has a gentle heart, a glass heart, if you will. So his personality does not match with his physical appearance. So we come to find out later that he does not want to join the rugby team because of an incident that happened a few years prior to the storyline. Of course, Gion not having any knowledge about the rugby team, he sees their school doing a little practice game with each other, and he instantly falls in love with the game. He also encounters Sekizan, who is this big brawling dude, and like automatically he is my favorite character. And not only that, he's voiced by Hosoya, one of my many favorite voice actor, so it just makes him all the more badass. And I can assume he is the captain of the team, so with that ranking and that physique, you can expect a lot from him. And of course, Hachioji is on the team as well. And what I liked about the episode was it had like a body positivity that even though these guys are ranging from small, tall, skinny, fat, thick, any type of body size, it doesn't matter. So long as you love the game, you can play it. And that was like little parts in that, just that little part in it was a very positive sign to show that it doesn't matter how you look or what you look like. It's just the fact that if you have a love for something, you should go take the chance and do it. So it's setting up, with a very solid first episode where our main character is about to attempt to join the team. He's very new to it, but of course he's going to grow to know what the game is all about, the rules, the setups, what is okay from what is not okay, and he's going to, train both as in character and in skills to make himself a better player and a better character overall, also with the help of his friend, who eventually will become his friend, and as well with his other senpais. So also the fact that this is tagged underneath seinen, even though this is a high school setting and you would have thought, okay, it's probably more shonen, more targeted towards younger audience, particularly a male audience, the fact that it's tagged underneath seinen means that there's going to be some darker themes in there, or much more mature themes for a mature audience. Not to say that, younger viewers can't watch this, but there may be things that are, if they were downplayed in a shonen tag, then they're fully exploited in, the seinen. So the fact that it's also seinen, I'm hoping to see where they're going to go lead off to with some of those much more mature themes in this series. The animation, of course, was very good. Very good, very clean, very vibrant. It was like, even with the background characters, they didn't look like, those floppy looking characters. They actually had, like, they were defined. And that's something you can expect from Madhouse and also TMS Entertainment. You expect to have some really good quality anime. So I'm hoping that they keep that up for the rest of the series. Especially from that opening, which was such a badass opening. You can expect some heavy throwdowns with these characters. Like, the opening itself with the animation and the art style was so sick. Like, imagine when they start playing against other opponents, which they did show in the opening, and when they're gonna start doing those tackles and those heavy hits, and the fact that rugby has less padding than in American football, you can expect way more injuries to happen. Concerning also in this episode, like with Sumiyaki, the reason why he didn't want to play the game anymore is because when he was in junior high, he was doing a practice match with his team and he ended up injuring one of his friends, dislocating his shoulder, and that caused their team later on, when they were playing against another team, they lost, and his friend had to sit out because he was unable to play due to an injury, and he's been carrying that burden. So, rugby is a rough sport and it's not something to play around with. So I'm expecting a lot of things to go down in this anime, especially when it comes to the matches, where I know they're going to combine together to bring out the best of it in those matches. I cannot wait. But so far, I did enjoy this episode. I hope to expect a lot of better things as well in further episodes and future episodes. The OST is pretty good, pretty decent for the first episode. I did remember that I did not state in my reaction video who was the composer, but it was Takanashi, the same composer that did Fairy Tail and Naruto Shippuden, is also the composer for this series. So you can expect some of his music to be implemented into this show. So if you guys saw the first episode of All Out, tell me how you felt about it in the comments below. Are you willing to stick with it all the way through? Are you going to put it on hold, or are you going to drop it? Are you going to give it like at least the 3-episode ruling and see from where you're going to do with it, if you're going to drop it, continue with it, or put it on hold for a later date to watch it? And I'm Kimmy-chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!